Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Trails of Cold Steel 2 with, possibly not the last extra episode. I just finished the possible not last extra episode. Basically, extra episodes that are planned for Cold Steel 1 are practically done. I just finished all character endings, ones I hadn't done before, and now we're going to do that for Cold Steel 2, and yeah, basically that's what we're doing. So let's go ahead. We're going to start off with Sarah. I'm going to get us to the scene. Also, if I seem a little annoyed or something, it's because I just watched the Halloween Ends movie the same day I did the Cold Steel 1 endings, which this is going to be uploaded around the same time. But, yeah, I'm pretty annoyed at watching that. Anyway, time to get to the scenes and stop hesitating. But just remember, this also could not be the absolute last, because there actually is, some things that you're supposed to see in New Game Plus, for the, I gotta reload my save now. I actually made a mistake. There's some stuff in New Game Plus that I didn't see before, because I missed it. And I didn't record it myself. I did see it actually, but I didn't record it myself. There's also a whole dungeon that I didn't do because I missed it, which actually I think was also still New Game Plus anyway. But there are some things to do actually after these final events anyway, which means I do have to actually practically fully beat the game again, which isn't much of a problem since, you know, playing on easy difficulty and max level is, well, easy. So, you know. Now, don't you be trying to talk to me about how I have characters in certain outfits like Sarah in her swimsuit. You know that I went through the New Game Plus outfits and this is what I got on, and they look different. There's not what they wore in this game. You got a problem with me, boy? Anyway.
Finally. Sorry if I kept you waiting.
I wonder, did I originally skip everything until it was dialogue? I think I did.
Not at all. I think I actually showed up a little early. Finally had enough booze for the night, I take it?
Yeah, had enough of the bad company too, so I managed to skedaddle. I figure the others should be able to handle things over at the academy. Just standing here really does bring the memories flooding back, doesn't it? For as long as we spent here, it feels like we've been away even longer. But I'm glad you made good on your word and took it back from the Alliance.
So am I. And I know I couldn't have done it without you. Say, while we're here, why don't we take a little stroll through the place? I'm feeling the itch to see if everything upstairs is like we left it.
It's a date.
Let's make it fast. Damn, okay, gotta be a little careful about what I'm doing there. But yeah, a shame Crow isn't back with us like old times.
In a way, he hasn't changed a bit since his first day. Even then, he was never honest with his feelings.
Oh, yeah. You helped out with the Arcus trials they all did last year, didn't you?
Yep. We sent him all over the country, just like we did with you guys during your field studies. Sometimes, I can't help but wonder that if I'd noticed something was off with Crow back then, we all could have been spared a lot of heartache. I've known him even longer than you guys have. Heck, I was his teacher. I guess I keep thinking maybe there was something I could have done.
It's not your fault. Crow's planning was meticulous. He'd been setting it up for years. He would have gone through with it either way, but I'm not going to sit back and let that be that. We'll face him down, beat him, and bring him back. That's my promise. He'll be back where he belongs, with us. And you'll be there with us too.
Yeah? I know you'll do everything you can. If anyone can bring Crow back, it's you guys. It's been almost 2 years since I traded in my bracer badge for the whole teacher shtick, but there's never been a day when I regretted making the switch.
Ended up with a better homeroom teacher. Your methods seemed really bizarre at first, but when I look back, everything you did prepared us for what was to come.
Thanks. It makes me happy to hear that. I'd like to think that you all learned a lot from me, But over the past year, I've learned plenty from you guys, too. Things I never learned pounding the battlefield as a Jaeger or during my time with the Bracers. But whatever the future holds for me, I know the time I spent here will help guide me in whatever I end up doing next.
Wait, whatever the future holds? You're not thinking of...
I don't even know anymore. No matter which side comes out on top in this war, the Empire's never going to be the same again. When it's all over, should I stay on as an instructor here? Should I go back to being a Bracer? Or branch out to something new? All I know is that I want to be able to support you guys in whatever you decide to work towards, as much as I can. Just how I'm going to do that, I don't really know yet. I'm hoping that fighting through the battle ahead of us brings me an answer.
You really are amazing, you know that? No matter how fast we grow, you're always a step ahead of us, pushing forward into the unknown to show us the way. I'm never gonna be able to measure up to you, am I?
What do you mean?
You're experienced, reliable, always ahead of us, just out of reach, but guiding us forward. You're strict sometimes, but you're always compassionate, and you bury your weaknesses deep down to be someone we can rely on. And somewhere along the way, I started to hope that one day I'll be able to finally catch up to you, so that we can think of each other as peers.
I wish I didn't skip that.
As things stand, I'm still a long way from being there. When this war is behind us, and life slows back down to its normal pace, there'll come a day when I graduate from Thor's and head out into the world as a real man. When that day comes, I want to be there for you, in some way, as your equal.
Oh my. Well, you're just full of surprises tonight, aren't you? With all that's been going on, I never realized you felt that way about me. You can be pretty daring sometimes, you know that? I'm sure you're well aware that I go for the classy, mature gentleman type, and not students, though.
Yeah, but we're looking toward the future, right? Students grow up. Boys become men. Sure, I might not look the part now, but one day I'll be a dashing, handsome gent who can turn even your head.
All right, then. I want you to close your eyes. In fact, I'm making it a formal assignment. No peeking.
Why?
Shh, no questions. Good students are supposed to listen to their teachers.
Whoa.
Well, if you say so.
Oh.
Just think of that as a little appetizer. In a couple of years, if you're still hungry for the main course, come and find me. I'll make it worth the chase.
Well, hot damn.
Still, there's no need to rush. I'm willing to wait, if you are.
Thanks.
Well, wouldn't you know it, instructor? In some strange timeline, you do get together. Back here again, waiting for Fee.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Hey, no worries. I haven't been waiting long. Did you take care of everything you wanted to do? Last time I saw you, you were still out in the garden.
Yeah, Adel and I planted some new seeds. I found them myself.
Really? I can't wait to see what they grow into then.
It's kinda nice to be back home, especially after so long.
Yeah, really brings back memories. And now that we're here, why don't we head inside and walk around for a bit? I'm curious to see how things have held up upstairs, too.
Sounds good to me.
Why am I not skipping it? What are we doing? We've already seen this. My brain's working slow on me.
Wonder if Crow ever plans on coming back to us.
Honestly, I don't think so. Not of his own free will, at least. It's clear that he really believes in what he's doing. I've sworn over and over that we'll bring him back. I don't think that's going to be so easy at this point, but that's never put us off before. We'll get him back no matter what happens.
Yep, we won't lose. Not to Zeno or Leo either.
Having to fight the two of them this way must be tough on you. No one wants to fight family.
Yeah. But that's exactly why I can't hold back against them. If I show them even a hint of hesitation, I'll never be able to get through to them. I think the same's true for Crow, too.
I suppose you're right.
I've always wanted to find a family. Even my earliest memory has me wandering lost on a battlefield, trying to find somewhere I could belong. But eventually, I found one. Zephyr. They gave me a place to call home. Showed me a warmth only a family can provide. And always looked out for me.
A place to call home, huh?
Then we lost our boss, and the family who'd given me all of that decided to leave me behind. And I realized how weak I really was. On my own, I was nothing. I always relied on them to keep me safe. But I couldn't do anything for them in return. After that, Sarah took me in, and I wound up joining Class 7. For the first time in my life, I was around people who needed me just as much as I needed them. For the first time, I could protect them just as much as they protected me. I found myself part of a completely different kind of family. One I didn't even know existed. And I'm so grateful to Class 7, and especially you, for giving me that. I still want to ask them why they all left me behind, but more than that, I want to show off the new family I found. I want them to see how well I'm doing now. Zeno and Leo were always important to me. But that's why I want to let them know just how important all of you are, too.
That's a heck of a compliment, and we'll do everything in our power to make sure you can show us off.
Thanks. It's weird. There's all kinds of ways to form a family, right? And it's easy to find where everyone else fits in ours. But you're just kinda different.
In what way?
Elisa, Laura, Emma, and Sarah are like older sisters to me. Milliam's obviously my annoying kid sister. Machias, Eustace, and Gaius are like my big brothers. And so's Crow, I guess. But I don't think of you like that. You're not like a sibling, but something else. Something closer. I can't put it into words, though.
Fee? I feel the same way about you. You're more than family to me, and I'm glad to have you by my side. You might be a bit younger than most of us, but you fight harder to defend those you love more than anyone I know. And you're every bit as important to me as I am to you, if not more so.
Good.
Anyway, we've got work to do tomorrow. The future of our Class 7 family rests in our hands.
Yeah.
Well, now, I do say that is pretty damn wholesome indeed. I did quite like that, indeed I did. Well, now, I tell you what, I always did wonder if my boy Reen was fit for a royal woman. And not just any woman. A true, noble woman.
So this is what it looks like on the inside.
That sounds like just a hyper fee.
Oh, hello. Welcome to our dormitory. Did you finish talking to the principal?
That's right. We sorted out all the arrangements for tomorrow. I had the delightful opportunity to enjoy the Academy atmosphere on the way here as well. If there are ever any other festivals or the like here, I'll have to try and come back by myself to see them. So this is where you and your classmates spent so much of your time. I almost feel as if I shouldn't be here. Like I've stepped into Class 7's private little world.
Oh, not at all. You're very welcome here.
It Still is kind of the funniest thing that Alphen became part of Reen's little harem.
So, how would you like me to show you around the building? I'm curious how things are upstairs now, too.
Well, if you're offering, then let the tour begin.
Yeah, slow down, buddy.
So that was once Crow's room. His room was opposite to yours then?
Yeah, he only lived there for a couple months, but I can't picture anyone else being there. It was pretty handy having him so close by too, especially when we were making plans for the festival. We could just wander into each other's rooms anytime we needed something.
You two must have trusted one another so deeply, and that makes the fact you two have to fight one another all the more depressing. Why must it be that way? Well, just know that while I may not be able to come with you, I'll be praying for the best.
I appreciate that. Don't worry, Your Highness. I fully intend to win against him and bring him right back here. I mean, we've got you on our side. How could we possibly lose?
Oh, Reen, you're such a tease. Besides, I'm hardly the lovely, kind-hearted girl you think I am.
Pardon?
At first, I was acting as a substitute for Elise because she couldn't be near you herself. I thought, if she couldn't support you, I would try to do so in her place. And before I knew it, I found myself learning things about you that even she didn't know. And the more I learned, the guiltier I felt. Guilty because knowing things she didn't made me feel, well, really happy.
Oh, I had no idea.
And as if that weren't awful enough, I found myself wanting to know more and more. What right do I have to call Elise my best friend when I feel this way?
I'm honored to hear that. You needn't think it was one-sided, Your Highness. I was happy to learn more about you through all of this, too.
You were?
I've learned how much of a prankster you can be, how hard you work for the people of your country, how smart you are. I see you always conducting yourself with dignity and pride. And I've also seen just how much you care for everyone around you. I'd be careful that one other interest of yours doesn't get out of hand, though.
This simply isn't fair! It's like I'm the only one getting worked up here while you just play everything off, cool as a cucumber!
Cool as a cucumber, what, Your Highness?
Well, whatever happens, it's all on you! I take no responsibility!
Huh?
When we find Elise, I'm gonna tell her everything, and we'll talk it through. All night if need be.
Everything about what?
Oh! Perhaps working together as a team might not be such a bad idea.
Why am I suddenly filled with an overwhelming sense of dread?
Anyway, none of this even matters if you don't come back alive tomorrow. So you have to, alright? With Elise, of course. Promise?
I wouldn't dream of doing otherwise. The two of us will be back before you know it. So wait a little longer, okay?
I can't wait.
What did those tears actually, shake? Also, yeah, not every single female, final event is, romance, but, some of them are, and yes, I do immediately think that all the female ones would be romance, but we can't be doing that with Million. What other lovely, beautiful woman could walk through this door, and I would confess thy love to?
Oh, hey, Reen. All done celebrating?
What? Guys? You're not the lovely woman I was looking for.
I guess. It still feels early, but I'm bushed after all that walking around.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts out there. I'd finished clearing up the club room earlier than I expected, so I decided to swing by once I was done. It feels strange to be back here again. Strange. And yet I feel right at home.
Yeah. I can't explain it, but being here again is somehow comforting. You up for taking a look around here with me? I'm curious how things are upstairs, too.
Sure.
skip on ahead.
They're all empty, of course. I know it's silly, but a small part of me was hoping we'd find him in his room like normal. Here to see what the commotion was about.
I know the feeling, whether he admits it or not. I like to think our time spent in this dorm meant something to Crow. I want to believe it still means something to him.
And to think, Crow's already experienced that horrible feeling of losing the one place you call home. He knows what it's like more than any of us. To be utterly powerless against the tides of change. To lose everything you hold dear. We may have been able to avert the worst in the end, but I can relate to that feeling of dread. At least a little.
Yeah, I guess you would know. Maybe you guys can talk about it some more once we bring him back. And we'll definitely bring him back.
That we will. I wish I could say Nord is safer now, but we still can't afford to let our guard down just yet. We only saw a snippet of what it would be like for war to affect it. And there's every possibility it could do more in the future. And then there's Calvert to think about. We're at peace now, but who knows if, or even when, that could change.
Which is why we need to do what we can to make sure that doesn't happen.
Still, as much as I wish I could be back in the Highlands, ending the war here in Erebonia should be my prime focus now. If ending it makes for one less potential threat at home, then I can rest easier at night knowing I've done something right. I don't want this land to be plagued by danger any longer. I've come to love Erebonia as much as I love Nord. You helped me protect my home, Reen. And now, it's my turn to help you protect yours.
Huh. You really are one of the most dependable people I know. I feel like so long as we have each other's backs, we can overcome just about anything life throws at us. I wonder if this is how Emperor Drykos felt during the War of the Lions. He was supposed to have allies from Nord too. If they were half as reliable as you are, I'm sure he must have felt the same way I do.
Your presence is just as reassuring for me too, you know. I can't help but want to answer to the unwavering trust you've placed in me, Reen. This land, our classmates, and everyone we've met along the way have become so precious to me. I find myself thinking, if I had all the strength of a tempest, all the dignity of a hawk, then I could blow away all the obstacles which threaten them. And I don't know if I ever would have felt so strongly about changing myself for the sake of everyone here, if not for you. You've become my dearest friend, Reen.
You really mean that? Thank you, Gaius. That really means a lot to me.
Bro,
I guess we're both inspiring each other for the better. In a way, I want all those things for myself for the same reasons as you, so that I can protect all of you and the homeland that I treasure too.
I'm sure we can do anything we put our minds to. May we both go forth and find the strength to envelop this land and its people in a mighty wind.
Just imagine you come upstairs and see like two guys just do that with each other, and you're wondering, what the hell are they doing? Alright, this time, Adios, I ask for you to bring me a lovely noblewoman in a swimsuit to show off such loveliness.
My apologies for my tardiness.
Eustace, do you sound like a lovely war?
You can't apologize if you're not late. I just decided to show up early.
When I asked for a lovely, noble person in a swimsuit, I don't believe I asked for you.
How are the horses doing?
Splendidly, if not a little too energetic for their own good. Whitcomb was especially thrilled to finally be reunited with his master.
I bet he was. Nice to hear.
There's not a brick out of place, which means it's just as run down as ever. Still, I've made so many memories here. I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's for sure. It's really nostalgic being back here again. What do you say we head on up? I want to see what things are like upstairs, too.
All right, why not?
You should probably find some clothes. This is kind of uncomfortable, Eustace. Why aren't you? Where's your shirt? Where's your shoes?
Crow's foolishness continues to baffle me. He's fighting under a banner that doesn't include him. He's the sort you'd more likely find in a casino than the capital.
That's for sure. Fighting for the Alliance really doesn't suit him one bit. I'm sure he realizes that too, though. He sees Duke Cayenne as more of a sponsor than an ally.
So it's just a case of the two using each other while they share a common purpose. Winning him over won't be easy, but we should push this angle if we intend to do so. Rufus will likely be more difficult, given his key position in the Alliance and shared ideals.
I didn't even think...
My brother's always been my light, both dazzling and warm. He commanded respect, but he also deservedly earned my absolute trust. After the death of my mother, he was the only living relative who did so. And he was a constant. Someone I could rely on and look up to after I was taken into the family mansion in Bareahard.
I know how you feel. Your brother is to you what Elise and my parents are to me. I'm sure he still cares about you too. He's probably just as worried about your inevitable encounter as you are. The two of you might disagree about the country's future, but that doesn't mean you can't care about each other.
I agree, which is precisely why I've chosen to fight him with everything I have. That, above all else, is the role that I must play in ending this war. I am the man I am today because of my brother. He gave me everything I have, taught me everything I know. He was the one who taught me how to behave as a noble should, taught me to raise horses, trained me as a swordsman. I was always looking up at him, as if he were some sort of celestial being shining in the sky above. So the idea that I could cross swords with him on equal footing and emerge victorious always struck me as absurd, but not anymore. For all their riches, power, and influence, even the greatest noble is human, and they can fall like anyone else. My father always treated me with scorn. I was forever doomed to be the bastard child, but I always tried to act a noble. I suppose I did so out of some sense of duty towards my late mother. But as I spent more time with you, Regnitz, and our other classmates, my very perception of nobility changed. I found myself wanting to discover what it truly means to be proud of one's nobility.
True pride.
I can, and I will, surpass my brother. Not in order to justify the title given to me at birth, but in order to demonstrate the pride I have in myself as myself. And with you, my finest friend at my side, I know that I can accomplish that.
I'm flattered, but I'm not half the man you are. You've always had a meaningful sense of pride, more than anyone else I know. I honestly never expected I'd be able to be friends with someone like you. Not as equals, but I'm glad that I was wrong. It fills me with pride to know how much belief you place in me, and that you're even willing to put it into words.
Perhaps your numerous heart-to-hearts and endless supply of passionate speeches have finally rubbed off on me. No matter how this war ends, our position as nobles will likely never be the same again. Regardless of what happens to this nation, we will always have our pride. That should never change.
There's the Eustace I know.
I didn't expect them to do that.
I won't let my pride waver either. Not when I've got a friend like you to keep me in line.
That goes without saying. I can't have you embarrassing me now, can I?
Seriously though, Eustace, can you please put your clothes back on? I don't want the others to see us like this. Fine, okay. If I can't get just can't get a lovely woman, or just a lovely noble woman in a nice swimsuit, can't I just get a nice, cute girl in some glasses, you know?
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, come on. Man, I even was gonna add about, like, the stage outfits, bro.
Not at all. You're right on time.
Oh, whatever. So, you sure romance can't be on the table, Machias?
I take it everything's squared away with the chess club?
It was nothing special. We just played a few games with the upper class students like we always used to. Of course, we couldn't decide a winner, but it's not like there won't be time for that in the days to come.
Good luck with that.
You know, it's odd coming back here and seeing things exactly how we left them. It's almost as if this place were frozen in time these past few months.
Yeah, it's true. Well, what do you say we walk around for a bit? It'll give us a chance to see how things are upstairs, too.
Might as well. everything's the same up here, too. Can't say I'm terribly surprised. As ridiculous as it sounds, I was hoping against hope that we'd just find Crow sitting in his room as if nothing had happened.
Honestly, that does sound like a long con he'd try to pull off. I'm surprised the common areas are so clean, though. I figured they'd be covered in a few coats of dust by now. I guess the upper-class students worked hard to keep things nice around here.
Presumably so. I can scarcely believe how different a person I've become in less than a year. When I first arrived here, my blood would start to boil if I so much as heard the term upper class. But now...
You're a new man.
Honestly, when I think back to how I acted on our first day, even Milliam seems dignified in comparison. I came here with a firmly ingrained belief that nobles were the enemy, so that's the way I treated them. That's certainly a time in my life that I'd rather forget. Ugh, how embarrassing.
It's not like you didn't have your reasons, though. After what you went through as a child, I don't think anyone could blame you. Besides, we've all changed for the better since we first showed up at the academy.
I wonder if that's true. You're right about the reason, of course. I hated nobles ever since the day they took my cousin from me. My time here helped me realize that not all nobles are so despicable, and that I was misplacing the blame for her death. And that's something you and our other noble classmates taught me, and it makes sense to me on a logical level. Claiming that I've matured as a person feels somewhat empty, because I can't be sure I really have.
How so?
Having a logical understanding of something is one thing, but completely restructuring your beliefs around it is another. This war has proven that to me. I know as well as anybody that the nobility as a whole isn't the cause, but the nobles who are have taken so many lives. While I know it's wrong, in my heart, I still blame every last one. So the things I say and do might have changed, but inside, the same hateful, immature child I was on the day we met. Still, that used to frustrate me, even make me resent myself. But not anymore.
Why's that?
Because I've accepted myself. My immaturity is still a part of who I am. I can't change that in a day, but I can keep trying. We're all immature in our own ways. But together as a class, we managed to make up for each other's flaws, making it the perfect environment for me to learn and grow. And it doesn't hurt my best friends a part of it. I mean you, Rean. All I can do is keep learning and improving. That's the only thing any of us can do. And we've still got a long way to go. After this war's over, and once we've rescued Dad from the Alliance, this nation as we know it will never be the same again. Hey, cut it out! Stop laughing, damn it! I'm in the middle of a serious, impassioned speech here!
Sorry, I can't help it. You know how sometimes something makes so much sense that you can't help but laugh? That's you in this ultra-serious speech.
I beg your pardon?
You've got no shortage of strengths, but the one that really stands out is your ability to face the whole world directly. Eustace might argue you're a little too direct, since you do occasionally run yourself straight into trouble, but that stems from the strength of your conviction. You stand by your beliefs, and you're willing to fight for them.
I'm not sure that's a good thing.
Sure it is. It's why you're able to tackle problems that others would rather avoid, even the most difficult ones, like the class system. Most people would have just seen it as a fact of life, but you see it as a problem that needs uprooting. I have nothing but respect for that. You're serious in the truest sense of the word, so this speech just made me laugh.
What? That wasn't the response I was hoping to elicit. And what's with all this heart-to-heart stuff all of a sudden?
You should know by now that if you try to give me a serious speech, I'll give you one right back. And I'm not even done. I'm being completely honest when I say that as long as the two of us are together, we can build a brighter future for Erebonia. Throughout the war, so many have gotten injured, or worse, lost their lives, and I don't want it to be for nothing at all. I want a future where people can look back and say their losses weren't in vain.
That's certainly ambitious, but I'm sure we will.
This is what I
We'll live our
expected to do
lives
with
to
Eustace,
better
at
those of the
least.
people around us, starting with taking Crow back from the Alliance. And then we'll build that future of ours, piece by piece.
It's a promise.
I'll be honest, Machias' event there was really fucking good. That's actually some great character development that we got with Machias there, when we kind of get like almost no character development for him in like the third game and fourth game. Look, I know in the third and fourth game where they're supposed to mostly focus on Rean and his students and other people, but come on, man. Alright, fine, Adios. If you don't want to give me a nice, noble girl, a girl in glasses, or a nice... not even an adult, I guess, at this point anymore. Just someone a little younger. Just a little. Doesn't have to be too much. Just younger.
Hey there, Rean!
Oh. Wait, hold on. Hold on, wait, hold on. I'm gonna get a case of the RMP.
You sure took your time.
I don't want a case of the RMP.
Guess you finished exploring the grounds, Milliam?
This isn't what I asked for.
Nope. But I didn't want to keep you waiting, so here I am. This place hasn't changed a bit. It feels great to finally be back here.
Yeah, it does. Well, while we're here, you up to walking around inside for a bit? I'm curious how things are upstairs.
Oh yeah, I'm curious too. Feels weird seeing Crow's room all empty again like that. I mean, we joined Class 7 on the same day, so he's always been there to me.
Oh yeah, I guess you did. We were all pretty surprised when we got 2 new classmates on the same day. That's unusual enough as it is, without one of them being a gambling addict and the other one being... you.
Can't deny that we made things more fun, though.
True, I can't. I hope we weren't the only ones having fun, though. You had fun too, right?
Yep, I sure did. It was my first time sitting down at a desk and studying and all that. I didn't think I'd like it so much. I had so much fun. I sometimes forgot why I was sent to the academy in the first place.
Well, if it was that fun for you, then that's all the more reason we need to put things back the way they were. We'll bring Crow home, make it through the war in one piece, and then we'll go back to studying and having all the fun we want with our classmates like always.
Rean, I've been feeling kinda off lately.
Off? How?
Every time I think about how we'll have to fight Crow, my chest hurts. It wasn't like this before. I don't know why either. It's not like I've hurt myself there or anything. He's our enemy now and we need to fight him. So I don't know why I feel this way. It's all new to me.
What you're feeling now is totally normal. Crow's our classmate. We might be on different sides right now, but he's still one of us, and fighting against a friend is hard. It hurts to fight someone you care about, so there's nothing off about it, Milliam. It's perfectly normal to feel the way you do.
It is? Maybe it is for you, but I don't know if it's such a good thing for me to feel like this as an Ironblood. These feelings might get in the way of me doing my work in the future, so I'd probably be better off without them.
Maybe so, but I'm still happy you feel that way.
Huh? Why's that?
Not everyone will agree with me, but I think it's important to know what it feels like to be sad or in pain. We strive to be kind to others because we know what it's like to suffer. And it's only by overcoming sadness and pain that we grow stronger as people. Personally, I'd say feeling hurt is a sign that you're starting to grow up. This war is terrible, but fighting your way through it has given you feelings that will forever change you.
You think?
Yeah, in the best way too. For me, for the rest of our class, and for you, of course. But like I said, you're only just starting. You've still got plenty of growing to do, and I want to watch over you every step of the way.
Wow. I'll never figure out how you don't burst out laughing in the middle of all those mushy speeches. We're classmates, but you barely know anything about me if you think about it.
You're right, I suppose. I don't know about your past, how you came to be an Ironblood, or what connection you have to Altina either. That's not as big a problem as you think it might be, though. It's all trivial compared to the one thing we do know. We all care about you.
That's so. You love me that much, huh? So you gonna marry me when I'm all grown up and hot and stuff?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Still, I meant everything that I said. And when all this is over, You can use all those new feelings you gained to keep on growing right here at the Academy.
Roger.
I miss the old Million voice the most. Like, it's sad we don't have Marsha Ray for Laura in Cold Steel 4. But, man, there's something about Cold Steel 1 and 2 Million's voice actress that just... And that's just the voice. I don't know why, that whole event just made me really sad. Well, Adios, I guess you got nothing for me. Man, I would just take anything at all at this point. Just anything that wouldn't get me in trouble, or is just not my style.
Sorry for the wait, Rean.
Ugh. Man, I said anything, but not...
Hey, Elisa. I only just got here, actually.
Whatever, man.
All done catching up with the rest of the lacrosse club?
Yeah, it was great to be back with them, but I think we've done enough celebrating for the time being. Plus, Varys ended up giving me a few friendly words of advice, too. It's kind of hard to say no to a girl who keeps insisting a lady ought to not keep a gentleman waiting, you know?
Yeah, sounds like her all right.
Anyway, never mind her. It really does feel strange to be back here in our old dormitory. In a good way, of course. As soon as I stepped through the doors, all the memories of the times we spent together here came flooding back.
Yeah, same here. It's been a long time coming, but we finally made it. Well, while we're here, do you want to walk around inside for a bit? I'm curious how things are upstairs, too.
Sure, why not? It's funny how time works, isn't it? It's only been a couple months since we were last here, and yet I feel like it's been years.
I guess that just goes to show how much of a mark the time we spent here has left on us, though. Every room, every corridor has a memory attached to it. Just one look, and I suddenly remember it all like it was yesterday.
You know, I guess that's true. I just wish Crow were here with us to share this feeling. It doesn't feel quite right without him.
I wish you were here, too. He's as much a part of Class 7 as the rest of us. Give it time, though. Next thing you know, he'll be right here reminiscing with us.
You really never change, Rean. It was clear from the moment we met. You were someone who really cared for others. And you're as kind now as you were then. You were our leader. Always tirelessly looking out for every member of the group and putting our needs before your own. We're so grateful for all you've done. And that goes double for me. Hey, Rean, do you still remember our first day at the Academy?
Our first day? How can I possibly forget? First, we bumped into each other outside the station because I was so taken by the Lino flowers, and then that happened. I'd love to tell you I've done what you asked and forgotten, but that's just plain not possible. Sorry about that.
I should have known. Then again, who am I to talk? It's such an embarrassing memory, I doubt I'll ever be able to forget it. And the part outside the station was the most picture-perfect way to meet you, too. Then we both had to go and ruin it.
Picture perfect. Wait, what? You like that stereotypical stuff?
I really am sorry about what happened, though. Just so we're clear on that.
In a strange way, though, it kind of worked out for the best.
What?
Afterward, I just kept thinking about what happened over and over again.
Do not tell me just because my man... just because your boobs fell on my man's face that you fell in love with her.
And before I knew it, I couldn't get you out of my head. We barely met, and you were willing to risk getting seriously injured just to protect me from harm.
He would have done it to anybody else.
That left a real impression on me. I kept wondering, why? Why would you do that? What kind of person must you be? Next thing I knew, I found myself watching you from afar. I was so curious about every little thing you did.
Yeah, to a point where just him meeting with Claire made you... the way you responded to him meeting Claire is like you went out to meet another girl. It's like you made it out like you were in a relationship.
And the more I learned about you, the more I wanted to know. I wanted to find out how you saw the world around you and how you were able to live so true to yourself.
What are you gonna cry for?
You know, you were always on my mind too. You've always been hardworking, with all the pride of a noble and a strong competitive streak. But I think what stood out to me the most was how considerate you are of others, and how you always put them before yourself. All that time you say you were thinking about me, I was probably thinking about you too.
I mean, in all actuality, we were thinking about Toa, but...
To be honest, you've been on my mind ever since our picture-perfect meeting, as you put it.
Not exactly.
Really?
During the past few weeks and months, I've gotten to know more and more about what makes you the person you are. The two of us have had so many long talks about finding our own paths through life, or about deciding how we want to live. And somewhere along the line, I found myself hoping that between whatever you decided and whatever I decided, the paths we chose for ourselves would eventually meet and become one, so we could walk side by side.
Does that mean...
I love you, Elisa. And no matter what happens, or what you decide to do with your life, even if our paths one day end up parting, and we have to go our separate ways, my feelings for you will never change.
Rean... If it weren't for you, I'm not sure I would have ever found the courage to find a path for myself at all. I was only able to because of how much your determination inspired me. How it made me want to struggle on, just like you do. And I love you too, Rean.
I'm so glad. I'm feeling kind of embarrassed now. I've got a lot of memories of this place already, but I think this one might leave the strongest impression of all.
So am I. I can't see my face, but I think it's safe to say it's redder than it was at the old schoolhouse. But I'll never forget this moment. No matter what happens, I won't forget. No matter what hardships I might end up facing, I'll just have to think of you, and I'll be strong enough to overcome them.
And the same goes for me, too. I've got no idea if I really deserve someone as good as you. There's still so much I don't know about myself, but I do know that I want you by my side, now and in the future. Whatever may happen, Elisa, I hope we'll be able to find a path we can share with one another.
I hope so too.
I mean, I guess it was okay. I still really want to make a funny video of why Toa is so much better than Elisa. Can't wait to see what the fucking comments would be of Elisa fanboys coming in there being like, what? Anyway, that's the final event, and the only thing I have left to do in Cold Steel 2 is the shrine that we left behind, and the Black Records. You know, if I really think about it, these really aren't the final events. The actual final event is practically what you see after you reunite with your love after Rean gets back from Calvard. But I'm not one for all the truth.